Alright guys, we got something a little bit different today. Messing with some toys, something a little smaller, hopefully easier to mess with than the big cars. But we got this thing. They're pretty nice, it gets around pretty good, but for the price of these things you'd hope to have a little bit more options on them. So we're going to add a little bit to it today, and we're going to put some headlights in it. It's got these little switches here, but they're just a sticker. They're not even real switches. So it's kind of chintzy, I guess, for what it is, for what you pay for it, I think. But we're going to give it some upgrades. I'm going to try to put some actual lights, some LED lights in the headlights. So what we got here is some cheap LEDs. Came off Amazon. I think there's 6 of them in here. See if I can get them open. There we go. So we got 6 of these little LED lights. We got us a little fuse. You always want to put a fuse on stuff, and a couple of little switches. I want to try to get these little switches just right in here. Cover up some of these fake plastic sticker ones with some of these. And I think what I'm going to do, since it came with 6, I think what I'm going to try to do is just put 2 of them in the head, just one on the actual headlights and not any in the parking lights, because I think they're just going to be too bright probably and look silly. So I'm just going to do the headlights, and with the other 4, I think I'm going to try to do like some rock crawler lights and mount them up under here, shining down behind the wheels. Give it that old rock crawler look. Since it just came with 6, you know, might as well use them somewhere. And let's see, we ended up, I think I'm going to try to use this 10 amp fuse. It should be enough, I hope. I looked these up and it shows that they're like, 9 watts a piece at 12 volts. So come out to like not even 1 amp per light. So with all 6 lights, we should still be with underneath 6 amps or so with them all running, depending on the voltage, how much voltage it's getting. It should be getting 12 volts, but that fluctuates a little bit sometimes. So I think I'm going to try this 10 amp fuse and just fuse it one time, and then we'll split off to each individual switch and out to the headlights. So first thing want to do is just pop these little plastic covers off here and see how much room we got in here. Go. So not very deep. Hopefully it's deep enough for those. So I'm going to take and drill a hole, find the center of this and drill a hole, and we'll try to fit one of those in there and see if this will still fit on there if we just do that, or if we might have to recess something. But let's get a hole popped in there and see. Alright, dang, forgot I burned up my Milwaukee drill again. They'll give me a new one though. They've been pretty good about replacing them. So now I'm on this corded drill. Sucks when you get used to cordless tools. What? Yeah? You gonna do it? You're gonna drill a hole right there? Alright, let's do it. Then let's see if this fits on there. To modify something. Try to get it to recess down in there. I can either go bigger with the hole, or I can try to modify this, or I can try to modify this. But I think that's going to ruin it. So let's figure out what looks like the easiest route. So I plugged one of these in for a while. I wanted to see how hot it was going to get, because I was concerned about it. Even if I do something, it's going to be really close to all this plastic, and I wanted to make sure it wasn't going to melt something, and it really didn't get very hot. It got warm, but not really hot at all. So Yeah. No. So I think what the easiest thing to do, if I cut this any bigger and try to recess it, there's going to be no way to bolt it in there, and I'll just have it like glued in there or something. I really didn't want that. So I think what I'm going to do, because this wants to fit in here, it just won't quite snap. If you get one side snapped, the other side won't snap. And that light is just sticking out a little bit too far and hitting, but I think I'm just going to probably super glue this lens back on there and not worry about modifying anything else, and I think it's going to be fine if it's touching the lens like that, because like I said, it didn't get very hot at all. So we got those kind of stuck in there, and they have this retainer nut that's supposed to go on the back side. And if you get in here, sorta, you can almost see, but I can barely reach my hand back there, but I'm going to see if I can get that nut on, get them tightened up, and then here's the wires. The wires will run over here, run through the switch and to the battery. And that way I can have them where you can turn the lights on and off and not have to hit the pedal for the lights to come on. They'll just come on with the switch on the dash as long as the battery's charged and plugged in. Alright, I got those in there, and they're tightened up on the back. Boy's acting wild. And wires are coming out here. One here, one here. So we'll bring them together to one, and we'll take them to... Okay, buddy. And we'll take them to a switch that will mount right here. And I think I am going to do like some rock crawler lights with the other four. It looks like there's a pretty good spot that I can drill. So I decided against the rock crawler lights. It was just way too much of a hassle to try to get the wires to work out right, the way the bed on this thing's got the dump bed on it, and it was just going to be too much of a hassle and pinching wires and stuff like that. So we just went with doing basically like the old school Streetglow, underglow or whatever. So it's going to be a lot easier, still be something kind of cool, I guess, something extra to do with a couple of the lights. So yeah. Is it nap time, bud? Oh, okay. So I popped a hole here on the back, and I got this light in there, but there's no way to get to it back there to tighten a nut up. So I'm probably just going to epoxy it. I think I'm going to mix up some 2-part epoxy, put on the back of that, and just squish it in there. Get it to hold, and then I'm going to do another one on the front. And I think I can get one somewhere up in here, and it'll kind of come out beside the wire, will come out beside the pedal or up inside the dash there somewhere. I'm going to do some more poking around, see what I think about that. What'd you do? And that should hold it in there pretty good. Now, this is what happens to your tape. Not only that, but my 9/16 wrench that I was using to tighten these nuts up with, somehow a little boy was playing with it, DJ, and dropped it down in here somewhere. I heard it fall, but I don't know where it went. Sounds like I'm hearing something. Oh yeah. Jackpot, baby. See that? Right. Alright, so I got the back underglow light, going with that 90s street glow look, I guess. Got it mounted there, epoxied in. This wire is going to come on around to the front. And we'll probably, might drill a couple little holes instead of zip tying it and just run it through like that. Hopefully keeps it up out of the way. I found a little spot here for the front one, and that tucks just in behind the battery in here. Doesn't interfere, and there's another hole that can get it out in and underneath the dash. But this little space is not quite wide enough for this light to go through there. And I do want it recessed because I don't like when you see the LED. I just want to see the glow. So I'm going to Dremel this out a little bit wider here. It doesn't need much, about 1/16 of an inch or so. I'm going to Dremel that out a little bit and see if I can get that light to fit in there. We're going to do the same thing with the epoxy on this one. It's like double layered and it's like impossible for me to try to get a nut on there. So, we'll do the same little epoxy strip on that. Oh, buddy boy, you're silly. You're silly. Alright, let me get you guys in here. You can see this a little bit better maybe. So there's our back underglow, Streetglow, 90s cool trick thing. Comes through here. I did put a zip tie there, and then I just drilled a few holes here, 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 here. Added a couple more here and here. And got that hopefully where it's tucked up pretty good. Yeah, buddy. What? You're done? I don't think we're done yet, buddy. I wish we were. We got a few more steps. So there it is, wired up. The other light is right here. So that brings all the wires for all the lights up into here. So that's the one from the back light. Let's see if we can get them. All right, so here's the one from the back light there, the one from the front Streetglow there, and then we got our two for the headlights here and here. All right, so next we'll get these switches wired up, a hot from the battery, and we will be good to go. So now what I'm gonna do is get our hot. Said I got this fuse link here. I'm going to cut into, this tells you right here on it, red one's hot, blue one's ground. So we'll take a hot and a ground up to the lights. The hot wire will go through this fuse first, and then I'm going to take this basically speaker wire here. I'm going to twist these two together and bring out the other side of this fuse. So it'll go in here, come out to two wires, and then this will be two different wires, one for each switch, Up on the dash, we'll have one switch for the headlights and a second switch for the underglow. And then the ground wire will go directly from the blue wire here. I'll just run one ground to each light also. And they'll all just twist together on one, but the hots will be separated and going through the switches up here. So you'll see when I get it going a little bit, we'll come back and you'll see what I'm talking about. Alright, so I got it spliced in on the hot and ground here. So this is overkill on our fuse link here, but that's what they had at O'Reilly's. So that one, this is my hot. It comes off and it's 2 wires. So like I said, one wire will go to each switch up in the dash. Here's my ground. It's also 2 wires, and all the grounds are just going to splice together into both these wires here. It was just easier for me to keep using this same speaker wire. I could have done one ground wire all the way up, but I wanted it to be a little bit bigger. So being as I had this in my hand, I just went ahead and ran one time double on the ground. So all the grounds will hook one time, and the hots will split right here, and one to each switch. I did put some tape on the end of this just so that I can tell once I get them run through the dash. I want to be able to know which one's hot and which one's ground, so I just put that on there as an identifier. Okay, so here's what it looks like down here now. We got these wires all coming through the floor. That's our hot and our ground on these, and this is our underglows on these. And then we got our headlight ones dropping here, so I'm going to do these switches where these little sticker fake switches are. I'm going to put 2 of these right here. Boom, 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 boom. So one for the headlights and one for the underglow. So I'm going to have to do a little cutting here. I think I'm going to use my Dremel, and I'll lay out a cute little square, match the bottom of that. We'll run our wires up through and snap them in. Fit. It's going to be a tight fit, so I don't want to put it all the way in, so I'll get my wires on there. So let's get it all, see if I got some fade connectors, and we can get all these hooked up. See how it works. Fade connectors, males, ring terminals, T-taps, butt connectors, more ring terminals, male. Here's a female if I wanted to cut it off. Need 4. That's 2. That's 3. Need one more female terminal, or I may just try to solder them onto that switch because getting out of hand. Wait, what's this? There's 4. Still got to do some soldering. Nah, either way, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4. That should do it. Alright, so here we got, this is our hots from the battery. This is our hots. One is going to go out to the headlights, the other one's going to go out to the underglows, and we've got all our grounds tied in. They're headed down. I think I'm going to plug it up and give it a test before I get my switches mounted in here and wired up. We'll tidy everything up if it works out good. So let's see, we got our number 10. Yep, we got our number 10 fuse here. Let's see. underglow. Oh yeah. And there's another one for the headlights. Oh yeah. Yeah, headlights, underglow. We'll get it all tidied up. And I will glue the headlight covers back on there. Don't have to wait for it to get dark. Let the little boy get this thing out, see what he thinks about it. He's taking a nap right now, so we'll surprise him when he gets up. That's how the switches turned out there. Alright. Now what we got to do is glue those headlights in. The headlight covers.